Hello, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to join me. I'm starting a new project and I thought that I would bring you along with me. This one is completely different to the last ones that I did, which was the dog themed journals. This time I've been asked if I would use a kit, and that's by Scattered Pictures Art, and that's Sarah Routledge. And Sarah asked me if I would like to use one of her kits, and the kit that I'm using is her Shakespeare Ladies set. I've got them all printed out here, and they are absolutely fabulous pages. Love the colours. They're all kind of grungy, which I do struggle a bit with grunge, but they are beautiful pages. So I've got all the pages printed out extras so that I can use them as I'm going through. I've already made a start, so I've put all it's going to be 4 signatures. So I think what I'm going to have is a hardcover curved spine to accommodate these. And I've paired it up with a few different things. I've paired it up with some papers from Medieval Mirage, just because I liked the grunginess of some of the papers that I had. They just seem to go really nicely with them. But Sarah's papers are beautiful. So they come with like the main paper, which it has a picture and some words on the other side, and that's a page from As You Like It. And then it has a plain side as well. So I've kind of matched them up as we go through. I've put different papers in there, some of my coffee dyed papers, some scrapbooking paper that I've got. This is sort of like tea bag paper. And I've got some a Shakespeare book that I'm using some pages from. So I've got them in there as well. And I've also got a book of Shakespeare's flowers, because he uses a lot of quotes and flowers in his work as well. So I've put some of those in. So they're all slightly different. I've split the kit across the 4 journals. So I thought that I would bring you along with me and kind of make a bit of the ephemera to go along with it. You can see my method of how I keep my signatures together, just so that I know what order they're going to be in. I'm unsure at the moment how I'm going to decorate the cover. I'm kind of thinking I might be using this fabric, which is maybe it's a teal green. I'm not quite sure. It does match really well with one of the papers in Sarah's kit, which is kind of that deep green and gold, and this has got like the greens and golds in. So I'm kind of thinking that's what my cover's going to be made out of, but I've not made a final decision on it as yet, but I think that's the way I'm going. I kind of don't plan too much when I'm doing making a journal, so we'll see. I wanted the first signature to have something on the front that made it stand out from the rest of them. So I've already put this together. So what I've done, it's an envelope that's going to hinge. Let me just unclip that a minute. It's going to hinge on there. So it's got a little pocket there made out of that, and it'll flip open, and there's going to be a pocket there at the back. And in the Shakespeare's Flowers book, there was a picture of Queen Elizabeth I, who I think liked Shakespeare's work. I'm probably wrong, but it's in the book, so she must have, I'm not saying known him, but was around at the time of Shakespeare, or Shakespeare was around at the time of her. So I'm including her as one of Shakespeare's ladies. So that's going to go in the front there. So that's my first piece of pockets done. Well, not done, because I've got to stitch it and things and make a tag to go in the back. So that's one down, lots to go. I'm also using Sarah's kit, Shakespearean Ladies, and I'm also using some ephemera, some images from her kit, Lady of Shalott. And Mrs. Coggs also has William Shakespeare's title pages. She has quite a few Shakespeare kits, actually. William Shakespeare's title pages and Shakespeare's Ladies. So I've kind of matched them all together, and that's what I'm going to be doing. So I thought that I would show you how I've done a couple of things already. So, for example, the pages here, Midsummer Night's Dream. I'll just take that out and move that out the way a moment. The book pages, I think I've got a couple here. Yep. So the book pages are bigger than the kit, than my journal's going to be. And so I was going to just cut some off down the side and put a hinge. But I thought if I put a hinge on it, I'm going to cover those words up because that spine's going to be gone. And I didn't want to do that because I want to be able to read these pages. This one's Taming of the Shrew. So what I did was the same as I do little golden books, was turn a flap over and add an extension page. So I thought I would just quickly show you how I do that. I don't know how others do it to make book pages fit when they're doing a journal. But I think it's nice to see how somebody does it, and you can do it differently. And the way that I've done it in the journal is I've flipped, because then these two pages stay together. I don't know if you noticed that. Let me just get this back. I'm probably not explaining this very well at all. So I've got the two pages, 327, 328. There'd have been something else in between it because I've pulled obviously them out. But then these two, the pages are joined together. Okay, if you can see. And then they're hinged at the back. So I've alternated them to be hinged at the back and then hinged at the front, so that it puts the bulk, spreads the bulk out through the journal. So the way that I do it, and I'd love you to tell me how you do it, is I just make a fold along where the join of the pages is. Okay, so this would be at the front, and if I wanted these to be at the back, then obviously I'd fold that way. But that's going to be at the front of the journal. And then I want a page to go in here on this flap. So let me just get my ruler. I've not got in too much of a mess just yet. So the way that I do it is I've folded that over, and that's going to be where I attach the other piece of paper to it. And I'm using decorative paper. In the actual journal that I'm doing, I used Sarah's papers. So I used her plain papers in it. So that then becomes open like that. So I've still got these two pages joined together, so they will both be together at the front of the book. And then I've got this here. So then all that I would do would be, if I had glue, I would cut it to the size. So I would want it 8 inches, or I would wait until I'd done. So I would put a little bit of glue, come on glue, down close to the crease, put my extra page in, and that's glued in there. And then this one would be glued on there. It's quite a quick way of joining pages together, and then it still folds nicely there. And then that would go into my journal. So it would go in like that, so that I've got the two pages there. You would glue it down there so that it didn't come apart. I've just not put much glue on it because I'm going to use these pages for something else. But you'd have those two pages there, and then when you get to the back, you've got that page there. So it just adds an extra page in there, and it means that you can keep these pages together, which is what I wanted to do because I didn't want to lose any of the words. So that's just a way that you can add extra pages into a journal. And you know, as I say, we all do it differently, so I would really like to know if you do it differently. But that's the same way that I do little golden books. Rather than cut the pages down, that keeps sliding, I fold the middle and add a page to it as well. Okay, so this is the first signature, and I know it is because my peg's got a number 1 on it. So that's going to be on the front. I think the way I'm going to work through these, I'm going to have something on the front and back page, and then I haven't got as far as thinking about what's going on the other pages yet, so you'll have to bear with me. So that's going to be on that page there. It doesn't come over too much so that you can still see the words, so that's fine. But I want something to go on here. I think I'm going to have some lace down these pages. So I've got that lace, and I think that that would look quite nice when it's closed to see that lace coming out there. So I think that's going on there. But I want something to go here. So that's what I'm going to make today, is something to go on there. So if I just put that out the way, and my thought was I'm going to make a flip page out of the Shakespeare pages. As this is going to be a tuck, and it's going to be a pocket at the back. In my mind, that's what it's going to be. So let's, fingers crossed. I'm going to use my scoreboard because I'm not very good at folding straight lines. And I'm going to use this that way to make my pocket, because it's not... you see, I'm undecided. This is where I thought I knew what I was going to do. That was why. I'm going to use it this way because I don't want to lose the works of William Shakespeare, and I know it's going to be going that way, but I'm quite happy with that because that's what I wanted. And if I don't like it when I've done, then I'll use it somewhere else. So this, you'll see what I'm doing as I carry on. So bear with me. I am going to crease, I think, is that in screen? I think I'm going to crease ½ inch. I think I want a bit more than ½ inch. So yeah, I'm going to do 5/8 because I don't want to lose those words. I'll just so I'm trying not to press on this paper too hard because it is old and I don't want to go through it. And there is some like age marking. I think this book was from the 1920s probably, so it is quite old paper, and it's not brittle at the moment, so that's good. This is going to be in the middle, and there are marks on this. That's me. There are marks on this because I say it is an old book. So I'm going to fold that in half, and I'll sort the size out of this in a moment. Oh, it's not very straight, is it? The paper's quite slippery. So this is going to go on top of here, okay, as a pocket. So I need it to be as wide as this, which is about 3 1/4. So if I score this, I hope you're keeping along with me. I'm sure you'll shout at me if not. So 3 1/4. Oh, and it just skips nicely along there, doesn't it? On those words. So that folds nicely there. And that's going to be a pocket there. Now my thought was that I could have this pocket as a flip on here, so that it flipped that way, so that you could see that. And then in here I was going to put some writing paper, so stick some paper over it, and then it would be a tuck at the back. But I'm not sure if I need that to be a tuck spot or not. So I think what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm going to score it and get rid of this piece there. I'm not going to cut anything off at the moment until I make my final decision what I'm going to do. Yeah, you see, it is I know it's an old book, but it didn't have the date on the title page, and the date was nowhere in the book. So that would close like that and make that a pocket. This paper is slippery, it certainly is. would I have to have it that way? So that it flipped that way and then flipped that way to write in, and then was a tuck there. That would work, but I don't know how it would work on here. So if it was on there, sorry, hopefully you can see me. If it's on there, that would flip there. That would flip there. But you're not really going to be able to write on that because it's squashing against there, isn't it? So if I did it that way, that could flip like that, and then that would open like that. I think that would work better actually, but then these edges, decisions. What I was going to do was just put it on here as a pocket, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to have that as a second flip. Decision made. Isn't it funny how you change your mind what you want to do? Right, so that's nicely folded. So I don't need this piece on here. This is extra. Cross your fingers that I'm cutting the right bit off. Yep, 6.5, that sounds right, because I wanted it 3 1/4, didn't I? So that's coming off there, and I will keep that. You never know when you might need something. It would have been good if I'd done a straight cut, wouldn't it? I'm going to cut it a little bit less because I don't want it sticking out. And you're not going to see that because that's going to be on here. And I think it needs to go that way, doesn't it? So that you can see. Yep. I need to remind myself how long the page is. 8. So this needs to be 8 inches. And actually that bit's going to be covered, isn't it? So is it 7, 8? You can make these whatever size you like, and these were inspired by Amy from Crafty Cat. Let me just see if it does fit on the page. Yeah, I think I need just it to be that little bit shorter. I'd rather have it that bit too short than that bit too long. Yep, that's fine. So that's going to go on there like that. And that fits nicely. And that's going on as the pocket there. Happy with that. So I want it to have, obviously it's going to have Shakespeare's Ladies in it, but I want it to have that nod to Shakespeare as well. Oh, here's my glue. So I'm not going to cover this. I want this to be as it is. So I'm going to put, I need a punch, not a punch. I need a circle punch because I'm going to put, yeah, I want William at the top, don't I? Sorry, I'm not very organised today, but this is, I thought I would just bring you along with me the way that I do things, because I do change my minds a lot. I don't know if the rest of you do when you're making journals, but I certainly do. Bit of blue there. Bit of glue there, and some glue down there. Tell you, if I could cut straight and glue straight, I'd be a whiz at this. I'm just going to trim the bottom off of there. And then of course I've trimmed the glue off, haven't I? Silly me. And that's going to go there like that. Happy with that. Very happy with that. I've got a piece of glue on. A dried up bit of glue. So that is now a pocket. And I'm happy with how that looks. And what I had thought was, I've got some bits of the paper left from when I did this one. And I thought that I might, how much room have I got? That's going to glue on there like that. I thought I might put that on there. Do I want it to say The Tempest? Yeah, why not? Why not indeed? So I'm going to mark on here with a pencil, if I have one, where I need it to be to. It needs to be on there. And I think it's just wide enough to fit it on to say The Tempest. If we cross our fingers, it might. It's been a very wet bank holiday weekend here in the UK. Not pleasant at all. I'm keeping all the little bits because you just don't know when you're going to need them. So I want that. Am I doing it that way? Yep. I want that to go on there. Oh, look at that. It just fits, doesn't it? And I can always cut it off that edge. So I'm going to put a little bit of ink down this bit. Just around the edges. And I'm going to glue that on there. Sorry, I can't quite see what I'm doing. I just want it to go up to the top edge there. Beautiful. I don't know, do the rest of you, when you start a journal, do you have it all planned out what you're going to do? I know I certainly don't. I see a kit or some papers that I like and think, yep, I'd like to make a journal with those. And then it's a case of I print it out, put the papers together, and then I just see where it takes me. So I don't know, what does everybody else do? I know we're all different. I know some people do plan the journals from start to finish. I mean, when I started putting this together, I wasn't going to have 4 signatures. But then when I got papers out that I wanted to use, I realised that was the way it was going. So you've got to go with it, haven't you, once you start. That's going to go on there and be a tuck spot in there. So I'm going to put glue on the back. And I'm going to put it all the way around. So this, now then, thinks, I think I might have a pocket just in here. So I think I might, see, change my mind again already. So I'm going to put some glue on there. And I'm going to put some glue on the bottom there, and then I'm going to put some glue down the back. I should probably have put a notch in there, but because I'm going to put paper there, I don't think I'll do that until afterwards. There we go. So that is that. So there will be, if I leave it to dry, if I have patience, there's going to be a tuck spot in there. Then I'm going to put, I think I'm going to put some writing paper there, and then this will be a tuck spot here, and it will sit on the page. So that's my first piece of ephemera done. Well, it's not done, but kind of put together. That's the bare bones of it. So I'm going to have a think about what I want to do with that. The other thing that I've done, and don't know if you can see that for the glare on it, is one of the printouts of William Shakespeare, and that's a CD case. So I'm going to cover that as well, I think, and have that as, I'm not sure whether to have it as a flip or have it as an actual pocket, so I'm undecided on that at the minute. So I haven't got far, have I? And I've spent 25 minutes with you, so not long at all. So I'm going to carry on a little bit with this one, and then when I come back you'll see where I'd got to, and we'll maybe decorate this one and do another one of these, and then you can see what I'm putting together. So I hope you like what I'm doing, and I hope you'll come back and join me soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.